Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and this is my review for The Electric State.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Don't make me destroy you.
So, The Electric State, from the directors of Infinity War, Civil War, Captain America Winter Soldier, Endgame, Community, some good quality bits and pieces there, some quality action movies, some quality comedy, and starring Chris Pratt. It'll be absolutely no surprise to anyone when I say that this film, unfortunately, is a dribbling wet fart of a movie. It lacks a distinct personality in of itself. It's completely superficial, and I'm just going to get straight into, this. I honestly don't know what the objective was for this movie. It's created and designed and showcased in the way that's almost trying to emulate classic Robert Zemeckis movies and Spielberg movies. The soundtrack is very much reminiscent of those films, especially Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But it lacks any sort of emotional punch at all. The film is constantly trying to play some sort of emotional family situation. This girl, played by Millie Bobbie Brown, is searching for her brother, who was presumed dead some years before, following the events of a robot uprising, which in itself is the most interesting part of the film. There is spoilers, I'll put right here. There is a sequence at the start of the movie showing these automatons, these robots that were serving humankind to do menial tasks, a lot of them created from Disney, no less, and the whole idea is that these robots were brought into servitude and decide that they want to, have their own life, their own existence, and be given rights. They lose the subsequent war following the humans using a device which connects them to exosuits, and it sort of goes on from there, really. But that's the most interesting part of the fucking movie, to be quite honest with you. Everything that happens from there on in is absolute waffling nonsense. It's dribble, it's laboured, it feels like it goes on for absolutely fucking forever. Chris Pratt comes in, and I have to be honest with you, I'm not sure he really knows what the hell he's doing in this movie, so just falls back on his familiar tropes of, hashing out these comedy lines which just fall absolutely flat. He doesn't fit the role at all. He really doesn't, and I feel bad for him because I think he's trying to do the best he can in this situation, and it just completely falls away. It absolutely falls away. The only thing really going for the movie is some really striking visuals. I will say that the visual effects are quite superb in places for the robots, for the automatons. But you'd expect no less when the film has a reported budget of $320 million.
Are you serious?
What the fuck? And then, when you consider how wafer thin everything else in this movie, you can't help but think, what the hell were they doing? It's an absolute shame. Everything is vapid and empty. There's no soul. It's all bluster and cheap comedy lines that do not land at all. There's no weight to anything. There's no weight to the action. There's no weight to the emotional beats. They don't land at any point whatsoever. Stanley Tucci plays the villain in this movie. He's the head of this organisation, Centre, that created these helmets whereby you can split your brain, your two hemispheres of your brain, into separate lives, as it were, so you can carry out day-to-day work, and at the same time you can relax and enjoy yourself on a beach, no less. And the central sort of idea I got from the movie, while Millie Bobby Brown is trying to find her brother in this wasteland, is that essentially he fabricated the entire war. I might be clutching at straws here, but that's the sense I got. So he fabricated the war so that he could sell this device, practically enslave humanity, into this sort of meta-universe kind of thing. But even then, it's wasted. It's empty. I am a great admirer of Stanley Tucci. I hold a significant amount of admiration for him. But here, he's just running through the numbers. Just running through the numbers, and unfortunately everybody else is as well. Giancarlo Esposito's in this film, but this is 2 films in a row where he's just artificially inserted into the movie. He doesn't have any clear moments of standout at all. This is a fucking quality actor, and he's just there in the background, delivering some intense lines of dialogue, but there's nothing behind them, because I don't even think he knows what he's saying. And that's the thing I got from this entire movie. I don't think anybody realises what the hell they're saying in this film. The dialogue is awful. It is absolutely awful throughout. It takes you out of the proceedings. There's a clear disconnect between whether they want to go heavy hitting or whether they want to maintain family friendliness. And they achieve nothing. They achieve nothing of it. My word. It's an absolute chore to get through. It really is an absolute chore. And I don't really know what else to say on this film, except that what were they doing? Really, what were they doing? This is yet another movie from the Russo Brothers since the end of their Marvel involvement. I mean, to me, it's even less surprising now that they're coming back to Marvel, because we've had The Grey Man from them, which was
That is one big pile of shit.
fucking awful. And we've had a couple of other action movies from them as well that just haven't landed at all. They're empty, they're wafer thin. Where is this quality writing, this quality level of creation that we saw of them originally in Community? There are some superb episodes in Community that are so well written, so well directed, so well paced, and yet we're given this. We're given this nonsense, this waffling waste of time. And it is an abject waste of time. There is a wonderful piece of dialogue that Stanley Tucci says in this movie where he says, "Our world is a tire fire floating in an ocean of piss." And unfortunately, that line of dialogue is the perfect descriptor for this fucking movie. It is an absolute tire fire floating in an absolute ocean of piss. There's no weight to it. There's no depth to it. It's all visuals and nonsense. There's no substance to it. There's no subtext. There's no moral dilemma when there fucking should be. They don't play enough with the moral dilemma. They just do, and then it's done. It's dealt with. There's so many opportunities in this movie to emulate and push forward better ideas, along with, visions of sort of like Terminator 2, and even Ready Player One. It seems like they've copied and pasted from better movies around them, and then gone, well, this should work. I mean, I haven't looked into the source material. I think it's like a visual novel of snapshots of what happened during the robot uprising, and I can't help but think, why didn't they just stick to the simple, base nature of whatever that may be? It'd be interesting. I need to have a look at it, but there's something clearly missing. There's a disconnect between the quality of what they were trying to do and the end product. Too much money, too much time, or too little time, I don't know. All I can say is that The Electric State is a dreadful movie. It's a dreadful movie. I can't even recommend it as like a Sunday afternoon kind of film when it's pissing down with rain, because I was bored. I got bored. How can you get bored when there's robots on screen that look really good? They've got this really great aesthetic, that almost emulates, 1960s, 70s sort of caricatures of advertisement, and yet they have it all set in the 90s. And what's egregious is you don't even get that nostalgia ping of the 90s. This movie could be set at any other time over the last 30 years and it wouldn't have made a fucking difference. The fact that it's set in the 90s makes no difference whatsoever. There's no nostalgia beats apart from clips of bloody President Clinton signing a peace treaty with Mr. Peanut. And and then a Nintendo on the shelf. There is literally fuck all to suggest this movie is set in the 90s. It's dreadful. What a waste of an opportunity this movie is. I can't recommend it at all. I wouldn't even bother if you were bored and needed something to fill your time, because I just had enough about halfway through. So there you go, The Electric State. Have you seen this film? Let me know what your thoughts are on it. If you enjoyed this film, tell me what you enjoyed, why you enjoyed it. Is it the simple popcorn nature? Because I'll be honest with you, this is beyond simple, this movie. It really is. It's yet another dud. Netflix movie, and my God, they know what they're doing. Fair play to them, but it's all algorithms and nonsense. There's very little thought process behind any of this. Let me know your thoughts anyway. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this. Again, I'm in the room because the computer's not working properly, and hopefully it will be working so that we get some edits into this video, but we'll see once it's released. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.